Let go of me! Stop resisting!
I understand, but I want to address the court. Proceed with caution. Your Honor, I take full responsibility.
Y'all, Skai Jackson just pulled a shocker and joined OnlyFans after her baby daddy got sentenced to over 20 years in prison. Now the internet is screaming broke, desperate, and down bad. One minute she's a Disney darling, and the next minute she's a single mom with no acting gigs, no child support, and a baby daddy's prison sentence that's changing her entire life overnight. Now, this wasn't on anybody's bingo card. But once you hear what really happened, why the money dried up, and why insiders are saying this move was her last option, it starts to make sense in a very uncomfortable way. Buckle up. This story is messy, dark, and way deeper than you think. So let's get into it. Okay, so Skai Jackson choosing an alternative career on OnlyFans in 2026 was definitely not something we expected, but not everybody is surprised. When you add that to the fact that she just became a single mom after her baby daddy got sentenced to a long prison stretch, yeah, it does start to add up. Gotta do something strange for a little piece of change because baby daddy is going to be gone for a long time. According to reports, he got locked up on not one, not two, but 3 counts of aggravated robbery, as well as an additional murder charge. He was sentenced to between 21 and 26 years, which means that his son with Kasai will be a fully grown adult by the time Yorkie even gets out of prison. It's a sad situation all around for everybody, but mostly for Skai and Kasai. Now, we don't know how much Yorkie had been paying in child support, if anything at all. But according to what the streets have been saying for a while, he did pay a fair amount. I'm not saying Yorkie was a great dad or even a great partner for Skai, but insiders are claiming his child support definitely helped keep a roof over Skai and Kasai's heads. And now that he's going to prison and can no longer make those payments, well, let's just say things are about to become a little more difficult for Skai. It gets worse when you realize she hasn't been booked for an acting gig in a minute, and she doesn't seem to have anything lined up. According to her IMDb page, she hasn't been in anything major since 2023. She did appear in a few episodes of BNF last year, but it's unlikely that it paid enough to maintain her lifestyle. To be fair, she probably still receives some residual payments from her time on the Disney Channel. We don't know how much she gets, but again, considering she isn't actively booking roles, and given how expensive Hollywood is, it's unclear how she manages to keep the lights on. That's especially true when you factor in reports that she's also covering her mom's bills. Now, no shade, but fans are convinced the reason she isn't booking major gigs is that her acting just isn't top tier. Just take this monologue, for example.
Top tier? Just take this monologue, for example.
Ugh, Sales Rack Sally isn't even clever. If you're going to deface someone's locker, at least make it original. It's even worse than DIY Diane. I don't get it, you know? I'm a freshman. Isn't there something else you'd rather be doing? Like bribing your way into college? Or expanding your carbon footprint? What is your problem with me? I'm sorry. Do I know you? No. But let me guess. You're the heiress to the Colgate dynasty? Or niece to the 3rd Earl of Kensington, right? No. But close. If you're really asking, your work is screaming Hoboken Uniqlo back-to-school vibes.
Yeah.
Unless she takes some serious acting lessons, fans are convinced she's never going to be booked and busy as an actress again. She does make some money from social media, but again, it's probably not enough, especially now that she has a child to take care of. With child support no longer coming in, things are about to get even tougher. And that could explain why she's now on OnlyFans. According to reports, there may be adult content on her page, if you catch my drift. Allegedly, she feels like she doesn't have many other options. And as people say, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. We don't know how far things are going to go on her OnlyFans, but fans are already losing their minds at the possibility of her going all the way, if you know what I mean. On the other hand, some people claim this isn't exactly new territory for her. There have been rumors that her parents, especially her mom, allegedly pushed her toward a yachting lifestyle when she was still very young and working on the Disney Channel. One blind item once stated, "The former Disney actress who was passed around before she was old enough to drive is now dating a substance dealer who has his hands in everything. That won't turn out well." That blind item surfaced around the time she first got together with Yorkie Jerky, but we'll circle back to that. Another blind item went even further, claiming, There have been actors and actresses over the past few years who couldn't wait until they reached 18 to hook up with certain people in the industry. Here are a few. This former Disney actress was already yachting by the time she was 15. Her family knew that was when she would make the most money. Their plan was to save it, but they spent it as fast as it came in. If any of that were true, it would be incredibly sad. What it suggests is that Skai allegedly may have been exposed to questionable situations long before she was old enough to fully understand them. It also points to possible long-term financial instability. If she has been the main provider for her family for years, that's a heavy responsibility, especially starting so young. So now, if she truly doesn't have steady acting income and is raising a child alone, you can see why the OnlyFans route might feel like a last resort. Now, let's circle back to the blind item about her allegedly dating a substance dealer for financial reasons. The person in question, of course, is Yorkie. According to online rumors, it didn't end well. Yorkie reportedly had a criminal history and was even in prison when he first met Skai. At one point, he allegedly had an ankle monitor while they were together. There were also claims that he had a history of domestic violence and had previously served time for putting his hands on his first child's mother. When Skai first hinted that she had a new man in her life, she gave followers a small sneak peek but hid his face. At the time, people thought she was simply soft-launching the relationship. However, the internet did what it always does. Fans analyzed his tattoos, connected the dots, and eventually identified him. It later came out that he allegedly had involvement in scamming and selling substances. From that point on, many people predicted the relationship would turn toxic. What they didn't expect was just how messy things would become. Not long after Skai announced her pregnancy, Yorkie allegedly tried to humiliate her by claiming she baby-trapped him for money. He reportedly posted on Facebook saying, Understand from Salty. Got this Disney Channel girl pregnant. I hate this. Skai and her mom immediately responded, saying his account had been hacked and insisting he never wrote that. But Yorkie later went live on Facebook to prove he wasn't hacked. And that's when everything escalated.
It is not that serious for a damn $5. It is called a raffle. I don't know if you guys have been to school before, but I know I've been to school, and we used to have raffles all the time where a ticket might, but it's a physical ticket. You might get put in $5, $2, whatever, and you get a prize. Like, people do raffles all the time. Are you Honduran? Yes, I am. Yes, the money goes towards the prize, and then like I said, if there's anything left over, I'm doing a second giveaway soon. So that's what it's going towards. I do not need money. Me personally, I do not need money. And I'm not saying this like I'm in a bragging way or anything like that, or in a mean way. I'm just letting you guys know I do not personally need money. Like, I am very fine in my life. I don't need money.
She didn't dump him after that. Instead, she continued with the whole my man energy. But things quickly turned toxic and eventually violent. At one point, she was even arrested for allegedly putting her hands on him. However, the situation escalated far beyond that. Last year, she not only ended the relationship, but also filed a restraining order against him. In court documents, she reportedly claimed that he had been physically violent toward her. She also alleged that he never wanted their son, Kasai, and even told her to drink bleach while she was pregnant. If true, that's beyond disturbing. It was clearly a very toxic situation. Still, according to reports, despite everything, she made sure to put him on child support. And considering he was allegedly just one minor violation away from being sent back to prison, even something small, you can assume he kept those payments steady. People online even speculated that he probably had the payments set up on direct deposit to avoid any issues. But according to reports, he eventually went back to his old, shady activities. Unfortunately for him, things caught up. He was arrested, went to trial, and was found guilty. Now, he'll be getting very comfortable in prison for the foreseeable future. As for Skai, she now has to figure out how to replace that lost income. And like I said before, OnlyFans seems to be her last resort. But Yorkie isn't the only one who has faced accusations. Back in 2023, Skai was accused of scamming after asking fans to send her $5 each for a chance to win a MacBook. She claimed it was a legitimate giveaway, but critics questioned why anyone would need to pay to enter a giveaway in the first place. Skai denied the accusations, insisting she wasn't scamming anyone and framing it as an attempt to help her supporters.
It's like doing that thing like, bruh, y'all talking about doing it. They're like, what? I ain't this shit. And I'm single. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Baby girl, you ain't know I'm good for domestic violences. On life, we'll both go to jail, beating on each other. Smile in my mugshot.
Oh, and don't even get me started on the reports about her allegedly using men and dating them for money. For example, y'all remember her situationship with Beyoncé's nephew, Jules, right? She caught a lot of backlash after Jules leaked explicit videos of them. Fans were especially uncomfortable because he was reportedly younger than she was at the time. That alone sparked a wave of criticism. On top of that, some people were convinced the only reason she dated Jules was because he came from money, and they assumed she needed financial support. Whether that's true or just internet speculation is another story. But the rumors definitely followed her. So yeah, that's the bigger picture. The OnlyFans move didn't exactly come out of nowhere, but it's still kind of sad to watch it unfold. Skai didn't just wake up one morning and decide to shock the internet. This looks more like pressure piling up over time. When you step back and look at everything, the toxic relationship, the financial stress, the blind items, the public drama, the OnlyFans decision feels less random and more like survival mode. What makes it even sadder is how predictable it all seems in hindsight. The warning signs were there. And now we're watching a former Disney star pivot in real time, while the internet jokes instead of asking how things escalated this far. So maybe the real question isn't whether OnlyFans was the right move. Maybe it's whether this is rock bottom, or just another unfinished chapter.